Hello, beautiful people. This is Jynnette The Oracle, founder and CEO of Innersunalchemy. It has been a minute since I've been here on live, but I'm glad to be back and hopefully all of you are doing well. Happy Lions Gate. For those of you who are aware, August 8th, 8/8 is what we refer to as Lions Gate, and it refers to a time in general where we have the Sirius star and all of the associated stars with that constellation, which I believe is Canis Major, rising on the horizon and creating this perfect line of stars. So yeah, it's a great great vibe, great energy that comes through. Sometimes I feel it more than others, depending on the year, but definitely I am feeling it. So, and that's one of the things I'll be talking about today. With that being said, today is going to be a short video, but it is one that is packed with a lot of what I believe to be juicy downloads, as well as interesting things to think about and to chew on mentally, if you will. So the first being, as I mentioned, about this energy coming from the stars. So if you did read the August 2026 astrology report that I put out in the newsletter. It's also, of course, up on the website on the blog page. Check that out. One of the things that I do is I provide important dates both for entrepreneurs as well as for spiritual work and as it relates to spiritual development and things. And I had mentioned that around the 6th, and of course, the time after, because obviously Lionsgate, that there was a time for this energy transmission, interstellar energy transmission, to be coming through and really infusing some beautiful energy to all of us. So I wanted to say very specifically where that energy is coming from. So most of the focus is going to be on the star Sirius, right? But for me and for what has been discovered with other light workers from the alumni of the Lightworker Incubator Group, we've uncovered that there is some very specific, beautiful, was probably going to be perceived as blue light energy coming from the star Adara in the same Canis Major constellation, but a little bit further down. So it's one of the ones that's would be referred to as one of the virgins. And I think Adara is like the first virgin of that group. At least in the Arabic context, there's obviously different cultures have different names for the constellations. So I believe with the Chinese, this was like bow and arrow, or like the tip of the bow and arrow, or something like that. So whichever story you want for the constellation, but specifically like the star in the surrounding area, a beautiful stream of blue light energy coming from there, really helping to raise their energetic vibration, flooding just the whole system. So you probably have been feeling it. If you weren't feeling it earlier in the week, you most likely are starting to feel it now, again with that rising tide of that vibe. So I definitely encourage you to meditate, do energy work with your crystals, be out in nature, whatever it is, whatever practices you engage with, to specifically take advantage of consciously and intentionally receiving, these energetic boosts. Now is a great time to do so. And I would say continue to do that at least through the 10th, if not like the 12th or so, because obviously we're coming into eclipse season as well. But that energy is there. Now, for my fellow science nerds, that blue light energy is specifically from that star Adara, because it is a blue-white binary star system. So that's why that color is coming through. Okay, but obviously there are other associations, but it is a blue-white binary system, FYI. But yeah, so that light is streaming in there. So if you were like, hey, the energy feels a little different around this compared to before, that would be why. Hello, welcome. So that was first topic. Second topic out of 3. So like I said, it's gonna be a short video. Second topic that I was going through, these downloads I was getting about these big transitions that everybody is going through. So again, I'll just read from my notes because I don't want to do this off the top of my head. So I wrote big transitions for folks who've embarked on a new path. These changes are bigger, structural, in nature. So think relationship shifts, home, whether renovation, actually moving, things like that, work, it could be a change of jobs, getting a job, losing job, whatever. Um, big structural shifts. While no stranger to change, these changes are different. This is different. For those who've been intentionally engaging with this process over the past year and have already made key changes, it is not going to be about managing change, but rather clarifying what's next in much more detail. Now, more is known, there's more experience, and you have, so now more is known, there's more experience, and the internal peace and commitment to what you really want is solid. Now it's about applying bigger considerations. So your politics, your values, culture, spirituality into how you build. What does it look like for instance, your business to have a human-centered approach with financial abundance for your employees and contractors? What does sharing your creative gifts and expertise look like when you're stepping into a consultant role? What does it mean for your career path to step into the industry gap that emerged from the collapse of unsustainable practices, right? These are the questions facing those at the vanguard of cultural change. So the question is, what's been showing up for you? As a sidebar, I will be doing a written post of the notes so that that's there and easy for reference, but I want to verbally say this as well. Okay, so that was the second thing. So big transitions for people. Again, you've already been doing, this is for those who've already been doing the work over the past year of making intentional shifts and changes to step into the new. And these are necessary changes that are popping up to help align you even more with the path forward. And again, it's less about, as I wrote, managing the change to try to like get through, and more about taking a step back and asking yourself the bigger questions, informed with all these other considerations about how you are wanting to build. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. And last but not least, third topic. And this is around entrepreneurs. So I wrote, I've been sitting with this question of whether most people should be entrepreneurs. And I was sitting with this question because the thought had popped up, and there is this kind of, and I've held this belief of everybody has what it takes or can do it, right? I've never fully settled on the idea that if you have the capacity and capability, then you can do it. But then I realized that I was collapsing capability with skills and expertise, when in reality, there's so much more, including, in some cases, an inherent gift for it, or in other cases, a divine calling that supersedes the lack of an inherent gift, in addition to a slew of other factors like strong mental and emotional health. So, no, everyone can't be an entrepreneur. There, I said it. I also realize now that another reason I grapple with this topic is because I don't think we're different fundamentally, and we're not, when it comes to our fundamental nature, our spirit. But the soul, in all its colors, shapes, and sounds, and the subsequent creation of identity and self, culture, and society are very different. There is no equity there, save for what we intentionally choose or perhaps are given, inherited. So no, we can't all be entrepreneurs. So what does that mean for entrepreneurs and how they could show up? Are you going to build a better business that employs incredibly gifted people who might not really be cut out for it? What does that mean for those who realize they can't walk the entrepreneur path? Is it that you don't want to work for anyone else, or that you don't want to work for someone whose values and practices are diametrically opposed to yours? So those are those thoughts and downloads and considerations that have been popping up with this energy. There is, of course, so much more, but these are the most fleshed out and the most pertinent that wanted to come through for this Lionsgate weekend. Again, for you to sit with, to potentially be inspired by, or to give consideration to, as you're in the midst of these big shifts and changes, as well as upgrades from this interstellar energetic blessing that we're that we're getting from the stars. So yeah, sit with that, share, write about it, comment. You can agree or not agree, like it's fine. But hopefully this is thought provoking and giving you something to really grapple with and get a handle on, because so much of the focus right now with this particular nodal shift into Aquarius, with the eclipse seasons, which are going to be in the same fundamental areas of Aquarius and Leo, these considerations about soul purpose, about larger society, culture creation, and all of that are front and center. And this is my wheelhouse. Like, this is fundamentally the vision and the umbrella of innersunalchemy, is creating culture change through consciousness change. So I'm loving it, sitting pretty in it. So I'm sure there'll be more of these kind of conversations that I'll be bringing in. But yeah, I think I'm happy that this is the beginning of this process. So let this be a catalyst, as I like to be, with these thoughts and these considerations. All right. So that is it for me. If you would like to work with me as your coach, check out my website. I have info below, but basically just go to innersunalchemy and go to work with me. Like, it's fine. And you can read about the services that I offer, the coaching packages that I offer. Of course, read the blog. It has the monthly astrology reports, which provide both personal, spiritual, as well as business insights and considerations. And I also just started doing a new series of what I call, from the Oracle's desk, where I am giving a peek inside of more of the things that I read, consume, engage in, pay attention to across several of my interests. Spirituality, of course, business, of course, as well as artistry, creativity, filmmaking, entertainment, business, and all of that. So the first edition of that was out last month in July, right? And so I'm working on a new one. I'll probably put the new one out soon-ish. Yeah, because I think I've collected enough things to put up. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll make a post about it so that you can check it out, of course. Okay. All right. But that is it for today. I love you all so much. And happy early eclipse season, because next, what is it? Wednesday is a new moon solar eclipse in Leo. I already talked about the eclipses and the nodes in my North Node in Aquarius video. So I will be sure to tag that here on the end screen, so you can go check that out, or go check out the Oracle Talks playlist for it. But I went into depth in that. So be sure to go and check out the messages for what you need to do and how to engage with the concepts and ideas related to this eclipse and how to make the most of it for yourself. Okay. We are coming up, of course, on autumn equinox, which is what I consider to be the spiritual new year. So around that time and moving forward, I start to build out workshop and planning for 2027. So I will be making announcements about that shortly. So just kind of have that on the radar. Once we get through this month of these big shifts and changes, we're going to start looking ahead to the year ahead, start wrapping our mind around that, making sure we end the year strong and we're setting ourselves up for a strong and healthy year in 2027. And yeah, I'll be happy to support you in that process. All right. Love you all so much. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please like and comment and share as always. Sign up for the newsletter on my website. Stay a part of the group, the community, and God willing, I will see you next time. Bye.